Hey, hi! Can you do me a favor? If you like this video, please give it a like or subscribe and share with others. This is about foreign architects and we tell you our stories, how we came to US or get licensed in US. Please subscribe and share. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. My name is Jessica Villarreal. I'm a foreign architect from Costa Rica, and I'm in the process to get architectural license in US, specific in Florida. And you are here because you are interested to hear stories from foreign architects. And in this occasion, I have Graciela Carrillo. She is with me, and I have the pleasure to talk with you before. Thank you for being here, and hopefully you bring us a lot of information for us not only to learn but to motivate ourselves to get our license in US. And please, Graciela, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for the invitation. I'm very happy to be one of your guests in your channel. A little bit about me. I am originally from Bogota, Colombia. I used to work there as an architect. My last job there was with the government. For circumstances that happens in life, I had to leave the country. So I applied for interviews here in the US, and fortunately, I got a job in Long Island, New York, with an engineering and architectural consulting firm. They helped me with the process of my work visa. This is back in 2003. I moved here. I worked for that company for 17 years. And recently, 3 years ago, I moved to my current job, which is with Naso BOSIS. We own schools in Long Island, special education and technical schools, and we are funded by the school district's taxes. And we also provide architectural and engineering support to school districts in Long Island. So I went from working in the private sector, designing and managing projects in Long Island, to specifically schools projects. So I in my current job, and on the side, like besides my work, I also volunteer to different organizations. The organization that I have volunteered the most over the past, I would say 12 years, is the American Institute of Architects. I was part of the board for 11 years, the board of at Long Island chapter. And in 2020, I was elected as the president for 2020 and 2021. And I also co-founded the Women in Architecture Committee in that chapter and the Emerging Professionals Committee.
How you manage all that and also be part of those like organization? Let's start for that, because sometimes we get busy, but also how good is that? How much this is being helping you with your career?
Yeah, so everybody asks me like, how do you do it? Because when I am involved with something, I am involved like 100%. And I always tell people, you need to know how to say no. You need to, take care of yourself. Don't overcommit. But I don't really apply that. I say yes to everything. Lately, I've been saying no to things because I reached like my limit of involvement. So I can say no now. But at the beginning, I was saying yes to everything because I think it's really important to establish those connections and networks, because they will open other possibilities in the future. And that's pretty much what has happened with me in my experience. Every single opportunity that I say yes leads to something else in the future. Yeah, so when I started working for that consulting firm here in Long Island, that actually was a really great experience because I was working on all kind of projects. Most of them were municipal projects, but I worked on road designs, parks, landfills, marinas, institutional buildings. So it was very broad, the experience, environmental assessments, lead projects. So it was super, super broad. So that sort of like gave me like the experience of like what type of project I like. I said if I open my own firm, it will be strictly commercial or governmental work. I'm not doing residential. I'm not the type of architect that can deal with homeowners. You need to have a personality for that. You need to be patient. You need to be available all the time. At least that's what I have seen. When you're starting your firm, they want you to work like after hours because they work all day, so they can only meet the architect at nights or on the weekends. So that to me was like, I don't really have that character to deal with residential work. Never work on the school industry. Like I never design a school or work in a school project or knew what the school requirements were. I knew nothing. So when my boss offered me the job, I said, are you aware that I have no experience at all with schools projects? Like I have no idea what it takes to design a school or to manage the design and construction of a school. And his response was actually very amazing. He was like, you can learn those things really quick or easy. I want you to join my team because of your leadership skills. And when he said that to me, I never realized that those skills are also very valuable. And especially when you're working in the public sector, you need to be a good manager, a good leader. I have to manage sometimes 5 contractors plus the architectural engineering firm plus the construction management firm. So it's a big team that it's under my management. So when he said that, I realized he's right. Like I can learn. And at least I've been honest that I don't have that experience. So bear with me while I go through the learning process. And that's how it was. But that actually was good for me because I have always liked to be challenged. And I have always liked to work on things that I don't know how to do them.
Let me see, how can I start? Everything you mentioned is very important for me. What I hear from you is basically the experience I am going through. And what I take a value and I support when you say, try everything you can. That way you can figure it out. What do you want? What you like the most? In the meantime, also I say, and I tell this to myself, enjoy day by day. Whatever you do it, take advantage of the people you're working with, the learning process. Why you there's something that you're learning today. I felt so happy just thinking like, oh my God, I learned how to do this. It's awesome. I learned doing something in Revit today and put a 3D and put for presentation. I'm like, this is awesome. But I cannot learning if I'm not in that particular position or with the team I am right now. is there special occasions, and I have this interview, people tell me that they have like situations at work that they need to leave for any reason, and probably the reason justify. So I will say to the CEOs, the companies, if they see somebody jumping jobs 6 months or 9 months, understanding what was the reason. Because sometimes it's because you have no option. You are like maybe not have a good relationship with the bosses, or you being discriminated, or something on your finances plan doesn't work to keep in that job, and maybe you get another job and give you that the goal for finances. So I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, and I'm with you to not jump just because. I'm like, why you leave? Oh, I get bored, or like not a good justification to leave that job, if it makes sense. But yeah, no, it's very, very important. Tell us a little bit about this project.
Yeah, that was a project that we worked for Nassau County, which is the county that owned that area. And what happened is that that was a boat basin, meaning people go there, they park, they drop their boat on the creek, and then from there they go into the Long Island, ocean part. But the area was very unsafe. The year before we started the project, someone actually got murdered there. And when Sandy hit Long Island, that was in 2006, I believe, or 5. I don't remember the exact year, but it destroyed the marina anyway. It destroyed everything that was there. So we came and we reconstructed the whole project, but we also did a lot of initiatives like more sustainable. It was the first project that we use permeable asphalt. In Long Island, we don't use that much that permeable asphalt just because of the salt. When winter comes and roads need to be salted, then there was like hesitation that the permeable asphalt will get loaded with all the salt and then it's not going to work. So we did test it with that project. The way we designed the storm drainage system was super, super sustainable and resilient, and everything was designed in a way that next storm it comes, it's not going to damage what is there. And we even designed a kayak launching area that was handicap accessible too. So people with disabilities could go on a kayak and enjoy, the water. So it had a lot of nice features, and it was just a very nice project that I worked from the beginning till the end, till construction ended. And it was a lot of people working on it. It was landscape architects, engineers, architects. But I like the projects that I see the impact on the community. Before, it was super unsafe. People would not go there. It was not nice. And after, it was like it belongs back to the community. And because it looks nice, then the community takes care of the space. And a lot of projects that I worked on here in Long Island were like that. A lot of waterfront projects that they were not accessible. The waterfront was not accessible to the community. And then after we go and do something and open that space for the community, it's just a beautiful area now that people go and enjoy. So those were the projects that I liked the most, is because it was not just a building that people go and enjoys. It was a full site that opens waterfront for the community. And because we know that a lot of waterfront is like for the rich, you know, they own the beach area, they own the roads. So when you provide waterfront accessibility for the regular public, it's a lot to be done in those communities. Young people start hanging out there instead of going somewhere else and getting in trouble. So I think it's really important to provide public spaces to the community, because they really make an impact on how the population will behave and how they can appropriate the space and then own it and take care of it.
For us, design something that it change, especially a community that you feel like is abandoned or has these issues, and you convert that specific area to make the change of people, you know, education and how they feeling safe. That's super value. When I enjoy NCARB, they are like going to website. And sometimes we need more help than that. That just going to the website and find out the steps. So tell us about all the resources you can provide for us today.
Use our nonprofit organization as a resource. The website, I'm gonna send you the website on the chat. But the website is ImmigrantArchitects.org. And over there, you'll see all the different programs that we have. I'm gonna mention a few of them. And I'm also going to send you our email, because if you have like specific questions, send us an email. We always reply. Or follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, and you can also message us through that. We do have a scholarship for international students that are studying architecture in the US. That scholarship is available for F1 and J1 students. So those are the visas that we are targeting. Next year, we're gonna launch a scholarship for immigrants that are doing the ARE exams. So that's a new scholarship that we will launch. We're gonna help financially, not too much money, but a little bit at least, to people that are going through license. And another resource that we have is books. We published books in the past. The first one is City Shapers, Stories of Immigrant Designers. If you ever need inspiration or motivation, or just go through other people's stories, that's a good book, because it's a very diverse group of people from around the world, and they are all here in the States, in different states. And they are sharing their story since day one, like what they did here, what brought them here, and also how they achieved what they were doing at that time. And then the second book that we publish is called Prospering in the US, a handbook for immigrant architects. That one is more like a guideline for anyone that wants to come to work here as an architect, or is here already and needs some guidance on what to do. We talk about cultural issues. We talk about the new language, adapting to the work here, finding a job, interview process, licensing, of course, networking and community involvement, and owning your own firm. So it's a lot of different areas that we cover in that book. It's also written by different architects, immigrants, all of them. So it's a good resource for someone that is looking for guidance. Another resource we have is a podcast. So far, we have posted, I believe, 15 podcast interviews with, like I said before, people from around the world that are established here already as architects, or in their licensing process. And recently, we launched the licensing series. The first podcast from the licensing series, we interview Patricia Ramallo and Brian Vallejo. They are the leaders at NCARP that run the foreign architect path within NCARP. So we interview them, they share about their experiences as immigrants and also what the foreign architect path is. So that's a good one to start. And then we're going to start interviewing people that recently got licensed and they are from another country and study architecture in another country. So we can start sharing those stories, and people that are going through licensure can listen to their stories and get some help. This past month, we launched our mentoring program, and we're in the process of starting. The actual mentoring is going to start next year. Beginning of next year, we received 20 mentors applications. So we were able to receive 20 mentees applications. And we're going to pair them one-on-one. That's already set. The application period is closed. The mentoring the program, it's about 2 to 3 months. So that will be a good experience for someone that is going to be talking like we're talking right now, one-on-one with another experienced architect here that is an immigrant too, and get some guidance and help in different areas. So that program, I think, is going to be very helpful for a lot of people. So I would say, well, there is also the Facebook group from Gloria Clotter, which I'm sure if you listen to that interview with Gloria, she talks about that, the Foreign Architects group on Facebook. That's a really good resource, especially for people going through licensure. There is a lot of help there. So I always tell people, go there and post your questions because you will get help, like get answers right away by different people. And I think try to join different organizations. AIA has a ton of resources for licensure. NOMA also has a lot of help. Like I said, Arquitina, if you're a Latina looking to get licensed, join Arquitina in the next mentoring program. And there are other organizations. Arquitectos is an organization based in Chicago, which is specifically for Latinos, Latinas. And that's another one that has a lot of resources too. So I would say there is, like, thankfully now there are tons of resources out there. Back in the days when I came here, there was like nothing, or at least I was not aware of those resources. So that's why I thought I struggled a lot. But now I think things are much easier if we find the right group of people that can guide us.
Right. Okay. Wow, we have a tons of information. I think we can talk about this topic for hours, right? But I think for now we will close this up. And gracias, Graciela, por estar aquí. Thank you so much for being here with us and share all the information. And not only that, but your experience as well. It just motivates me more.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And I want to thank you for this channel that you created. I think it's very helpful for people. I hope people are listening to you, talking to you, and you are growing that network of foreign architects. So we can help each other, and we can help other people to go through their licensure process or whatever professional path they want to choose. So I really want to thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you're welcome. And also, everybody there, thank you for being here. And we will see you next time.